Today, welcome back to AYI Training Center on JavaScript tutorial for beginner. This is the last part of the video by recording the number of people attending event. So an example, everyone will enter a numbering like an 8, 5 to save, which is a group 1, it was 4. If you're not happy, I can clear the text, come back to 0, I can start and save group 1. Then I can clear the group 1 and I can add more group. I can also remove the number and go back to negative or go up to maybe as much as I can and then save group 2. So these are like attendees, like group 1, they were teaching, group 2, they were 19, another group will come and then we save, maybe they were 28, I'll clear. The third group we save. Then let's say we're happy for the group and then we can print only the group of people attending the event. I'm gonna say print, then we can print a specific only this one. Now we're gonna discuss this from scratch. These are the 3 videos. Watch video 1, the HTML part, and video part 2 cover the CSS, and video 3 cover the JavaScript. Now let's go to JavaScript. Now we're gonna go to the page of JavaScript. So we're gonna create the variable and functions. We want this 0 to change every time. We're gonna go to HTML and go to this element and then create the ID. So I'm gonna come inside here and then give it a ID name, display number. Now on the JavaScript page, we're gonna create a variable we call let counting number. I'm gonna call it counting number equal to document dot get. Now this get element by ID, so we name it, we put exclamation mark, so we call it display number. Now display number, if you go to HTML, we did create this ID name display number, so we are calling this display number to display this variable. Console dot log counting number. Now we're going to create a function. Then I'm going to go to HTML on click. So on click, it's an element that allowed when you press the button and then the button plays. So now I'm going to create a name of the functions. Increment number. On click, so which means if I click this button and this function will play a role. So now I'm going to go to JavaScript. We say functions. Function increment, we're gonna count a number. So I'm gonna come down here, declare another variable. So I say let count equal to 0, and I'm gonna call count equal the variable at outside is equal to 0, but in the function is now equal to the same number, which is 0. And then we say plus 1, so automatically it now count from 0, 1, 2, 3 automatically. But now then we need to display it, so we're gonna call, now we're gonna call counting number dot inner. So the text that happening inside, because the console log will display, but that will display the number that is counting on increment, and then display it on the ID number. So I'm gonna come here and call this inner text, then on the inner text equal to this number that is incrementing. So I'm gonna come here and tap count and then say and finish. Then I finish my element. So I'm gonna now here I change this counting because there was miscommunication of the variable. We create this count as equal to 0, but inside of the function we say let this counter equal to that number is given plus the plus 1. X will be displayed as the counter incrementing by 1. So if we go to the browser, I'm gonna refresh. You can see if I click 1, 2, it starts incrementing to number as any number. But now we need to create a clear. Can you see if nothing's happening? Because let's say you made a mistake, you want to go down or you want to go back to 0. So you need to have a clear button. So now the clear button, we're going to go back to HTML. Now on the HTML, our clear button in the second one. So we're going to also create a function, but on click, function is clear number. and open and close bracket. So we have a clear number. Now you're going to go to JavaScript to create a function for clear number. So we say functions clear number, then we open bracket. So we got a function clear number called counter. Now we say this counter is called, now on this side we say the counter is go to counter plus 1, but here you're going to say counter is equal to 0 because we want to clear. So now we just now copy the same thing, the same code we did here, and then we copy this. We just repeating the same thing because display the same place. I'm going to paste it. Take this 0 and plus 1 and then keep on incrementing it. But inside here we say now take this 0, this 0, and then it's also equal to 0. So it's not only display 0. Then you save the HTML and then we go back to refresh, and then I'm gonna go and clear. Now that's working. So I can count 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 and clear the number to 0. I'm gonna go to HTML and then we go to the button that say down, input button, voila, class button 1, down number this one, and then we do the same thing. We add the button on the element on click. Now we're gonna call the function called decrement. Decrement. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go to JavaScript. I'm gonna create a new function name decrement. So the decrement, it's now we just copy the same thing from here. Just copy from the increment one, copy this code and then paste it. The only thing you do is just to change the negative, the positive to negative. So I'm gonna come inside here and replace this positive to negative because this is adding and this is and then save. Browser and refresh. So we go to add number, clear, add number, and down number, negative, and add number. Now that's done everything. Now we're gonna go to save button. Now the save buttons. So input that say voila text, voila save. We're here, voila save. So now we're gonna come inside here and create also a function. So I'm gonna go on click. This called save number. So I'm gonna go to JavaScript and then create a new function called save number to HTML, and then that text display, the one display attendee is this one, and we're gonna create the ID display text to JavaScript. Let display content. Let's go to get the text by ID, but now display text console.log. What I call it? I'm gonna create two variables. The first variable, we're gonna call it group number. Then we say equal to string. So what's the string? The string, if you want to display a text, we don't want to display a number. So we're gonna put a string, a group. Then we go to the other variable. This we're gonna call a number. So we're gonna say group. Okay. No, that okay. Let's call the first one group text. Let's change this group text because that's a text, a string, and the second one is group number. So group number is equal to 0. Then we go to in the function. I'm gonna call it as a group. The group all equal to the first group, which is a text, to the group text. Now I'm gonna say plus concatenate number, but I'm gonna put 2 plus. These 2 plus represent increment, which means the group number here is equal to 0, but because there's a 2 plus in front, it's gonna keep incrementing from 0. So I'm gonna go to the next line. Now to the next text all equal group all, then concatenate plus. Now I'm gonna make a space, then I make the space, this quotation mark for space, and then I concatenate again with on the number, any number that will display on the top, on the counting, which is called, we display it on the counter. I'm gonna call this display because I want to display this information on this ID. So I'm gonna call this variable text content, and then we call this text all, now equal to text all. Then to apply our function, there's no bracket here. Open a bracket and let's close the bracket. Okay, that's the first mistake. Let's see, and then so we go to the browser and then refresh. I'm gonna add a number and then I save. You see group 16, and then I'll count again, then I save. But now the problem is that now there's no spaces. Now it's confusing. So inside here, I'm gonna put a space. So I want a space between the group all, which is the group and the increment number. So I'm gonna put concatenate space, and then I'm also gonna put another plus, then we save it. So now I'm gonna refresh, and then if I add number, I save, and then I add number and then save. You can see now we got the group, but now on the other side you don't have a space. So I'm gonna go back to my JavaScript plus, and then put a concatenate, and then now let me use equal to the number, how many people enter on the room. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna go refresh. If I add and you save, so we have group 1 is equal to 4 people, and then we add the second group, we save group 2. But now this gap is a problem, so we're gonna go back to fix that. So we make a space inside here, but I think we can also make the semicolon just to make a gap inside here. We display this semicolon so that you can make a difference between different groups. So then we go refresh. So we add, save. Group 1 is equal to 4. We add group 2, save. Group 2 is equal to 9. We add group 3, save. Because let's say we have 5 groups to attend the class on the day. So the group 1, so there was 4 people in event, and group 2, 9 people, group 3, 12 people. So let's go to clear now, and I say function, and then say clear text, and then we come here and then we say display a content. Now we say dot text content, then equal to text. Go to the HTML, the clear text, and we click on click, and then we call these functions to JavaScript. We can create another variable. Let's leave this variable. We're gonna say maybe clear all content. Let's say call it content, clear all content, and then we save. We refresh. Now I'm gonna add save clear, and then we have 0. So we don't have 0. We wanna get back the same text was there. I'm gonna copy the same text that we're displaying there, so that you can keep back to there. I'm gonna come here, and our variable will be equal to this. Now one thing, I'm gonna put it as a string, because the string, if you don't put a string, it's not going to display outside. So I'm gonna put it as a string, and then we want to make sure in this, when this button is pressed, the group number must go back to 0, so that whatever we clear the text, and then the next group also must be 0. So we come here, we press enter, and then you say group number must go back to 0. So I'm gonna add number, save, that's group 1. Group 2, we save, there are 11 attending. Group 4, we save, there are 15 attendees, and then we clear the text, everything goes back to 0. If I add number, I save group 1. Now that's perfect. The only thing now is to control this gap. So to control this gap, I'm gonna go inside my JavaScript and then go to the group and leave the space between here, and then file and then save. I'm gonna go refresh and then add, save, and now everything's perfect. Group 2 save, and group 4 and save. We're gonna have to print. Let's say there were maybe 10 group attending now here. We need to print this now here. So we're gonna have to create the print function. We can print only the text. So this printing only gonna print the text option that we want now here. I'm gonna create a variable, let print data equal document dot get by ID, and we're gonna go call the ID. So on the ID we're gonna go to HTML. So if you want to print everything, like if I go to my page, I want to print everything. So in that case, we're gonna consider the main ID from the main class from this div. But unfortunately, we just want to print only the event, the number of people attending. So we want to consider this ID. So I'm gonna copy this ID. I'm gonna come here, call for this ID and semicolon. So that we call, then we're gonna console log the print data. Sorry. So we call functions. So this function we're gonna call print info, print info. Now, and then we open the bracket. Now we're gonna go first to HTML to create this print info. Click on our printing button. So we're gonna go to HTML. We come here by the printing button, which is the Warner printing. We say on click, and we call the printing button, and then you will file and save. So we're gonna go to the JavaScript. So what must we print? The first thing, we're gonna create a new we're gonna create a variable actions equal. So we're gonna equal it to open window. So this one, it's gonna open window. So then we go, then we're gonna call again the print actions, the print actions dot. Now we're gonna print the action dot write information, the print data, and then we're gonna write in the form of out of HTML. So it must be right in the HTML. Then we print that print action. Then the print action must be activate. We say dot print. Then after we close, we also print. We must close the print actions dot and close. There is a mistake. We're supposed to say print action dot document dot, and we save. Okay, now that's the way we're gonna come to the final step. So if I come here, now it's perfect. So if I come here, I add group 1, save. Let me clear first, clear everything, clear the text. So add group 1, save, add group 2, save, add group 4, save, remove number, save. So we continue, save, and then when I go to print, we only gonna print the text that we want to print, like attendee Group 1, 4 people. Group 2, 8 people. Group 3, 12 people. Go to my CSS, mine, and the buttons. I forget one thing. The buttons on my CSS input. We can put border radius. We're going to put 20 to make it look nice. To make it look a little bit nice. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please follow us on all our social media and leave your comment to tell us much about our video and what you expect more on what we are doing. And leave your comment and subscribe to all.